Welcome to the bumps in the dark.
Listen if you dare. Listen if you dare.
Elliot and Troy had no business being out in Black Hollow Woods this late at night. But Elliot, ever the thrill seeker, insisted on proving a local legend wrong. "No one's ever really gotten lost here," he scoffed as they walked along the winding trails, their flashlight beams cutting through the thick mist. "People just exaggerate. It's a small town. How lost can we get?" Troy, more cautious, frowned. "Ever heard of Lantern Man's Hollow? They say once you pass the hollow, the woods shift, and you never find your way back." Elliot rolled his eyes. "Yeah, and Santa Claus is real too." Yet, after an hour of wandering, his confidence cracked. The trees stretched taller, unfamiliar, pressing in as the mist thickened. They should have been able to hear the town's distant traffic. Instead, there was only silence, and then the flicker of a lantern in the distance. A figure emerged from the fog, a hunched man in a tattered cloak, carrying an old iron lantern that cast a sickly green glow. "You boys seem a bit misplaced," the stranger said, his voice rough as if dragged over gravel. Troy stiffened. We need to get back to town." The lantern keeper's smile didn't reach his eyes. "I know these woods well. I could guide you out." Elliot hesitated. "You live out here?" "I keep the light for those who wander too deep," the man said cryptically. "Come. There's an inn up ahead. The keeper might help. For a price." Troy shuddered. "An inn? In the middle of the woods?" The man chuckled. "Stranger things exist in Black Hollow, don't they?" With no other choice, the boys followed. The mist grew heavier until an old, weather-beaten inn loomed before them. Its wooden sign swayed in the wind. The Crooked Lantern. The door creaked open on its own, revealing a dimly lit interior lined with dusty books and furniture covered in sheets. The air smelled of damp wood and something sour. Behind the counter stood a woman in a long black dress, her silver hair tied in a severe bun. Her sharp gaze settled on them. "Lost, are we?" she asked. "Yeah," Elliot admitted. "We need to get back to town." The woman smiled. "That depends on whether you can answer the riddle." Troy's stomach dropped. "Why does it feel like we're making a deal we don't understand?" "Everything here is a trade," the lantern keeper murmured. "You answer the riddle, you leave. Fail, and you stay." "Stay?" Elliot repeated. "Like, permanently?" The woman placed a hand over her chest. "You wouldn't be the first guest who never left." The boys exchanged a nervous glance. Elliot exhaled. "Fine, give us the riddle." The woman's eyes glowed faintly in the lantern light. "What is weightless, can be seen by the naked eye, and if placed in a room, makes it disappear?" Troy's heart pounded. His mind scrambled for an answer. Elliot frowned. "Weightless, something you can see." The woman tapped her fingers against the counter. "Time is running out." Elliot's confidence wavered. Fog?" The lantern keeper sighed. "Wrong." The woman's smile widened. "The price must be paid." The lanterns around the room flickered. The mist outside seeped in through the cracks in the walls, curling around their feet like spectral fingers. Troy felt his vision blur. he was forgetting something. His house, his family, his own name. Elliot grabbed his arm, voice panicked. "Troy, we need to..." He cut off mid-sentence, his eyes going glassy. Troy gasped. No, he had to stop this. The answer. He had to find the answer. Weightless, seen, makes something disappear. A shadow? "It's darkness," Troy blurted. "You put it in a room and light disappears." Silence. The woman's gaze darkened. The mist stopped creeping forward. The eerie glow of the lantern flickered, then sputtered out. Elliot stumbled back, his eyes clearing. What happened?" The woman sighed. Correct. The entire inn quaked. The wooden walls rotted before their eyes, the furniture crumbling into dust. The woman's form shimmered, her face becoming something ageless, hollow-eyed. She and the lantern keeper began to fade, their forms unraveling like mist. "We have waited too long for a correct answer," the lantern keeper murmured, his voice laced with something almost relieved. "Now we can finally rest." The crooked lantern collapsed inward, swallowed by fog. And suddenly, the boys were standing back at the entrance to Black Hollow Woods. The mist was gone, the road to town stretched before them. Elliot gasped, checking his hands as if making sure he was real. "Dude, what the heck just happened?" Troy's hands trembled. I think we just escaped something people never do." The boys stood in silence for a long moment. Then Elliot exhaled. "Never again." Troy nodded. "Agreed." Without another word, they turned and walked home, never daring to look back at Black Hollow Woods.
Midnight fog, the shadows crawl, footsteps echo down the hall. Doors creak open, whispers sigh, something unseen is passing by. Lanterns flicker, the cold wind hums a warning song. Do you hear the drums? They whisper your name when the night turns black. No turning around, there's no going back. In Black Hollow streets where nightmares start, you'll find the bumps in the dark.